that little beast made me start thinking about the animals I left behind on the island, so I let my guard down. Now to fight like I mean it.
All right.
Do you want a little help?
Don't worry about me. Fighting that little beast made me start thinking about the animals I left behind on the island, so I let my guard down. Now to fight like I mean it.
All right.
Do you want a little help?
Don't worry about me. Fighting that little beast made me start thinking about the animals I left behind on the island, so I let my guard down. Now to fight like I mean it.
All right.
Baby boys, baby girls, what's going on? It's your boy SKIP.88 from Blerd over. I say we are live. We are back with being a Blerd. We have come back to this great platform to bring you more great interviews with more great cosplayers around the world. And thank y'all for the support. I'm finally back. I hope y'all had a happy new year. And y'all doing great things. And of course, I hope y'all getting ready for con season. And I'm glad to be back. I hope y'all miss me like I missed y'all. So what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? What's going on? What's popping? What's been going on? What's been going on? So I got a great guest for tonight's interview. And we're going to go ahead and bring him to the stage, and we're going to get ready for this awesome interview. Hope y'all ready for it, because I am. And let's bring our special guest, to the stage. I want y'all to clap y'all hands. I know we are on social media, but y'all can clap your hands. Y'all can give me that fake energy, because, it's going to be great. So without further ado, let's introduce our special guest.
What's goody?
Boom.
I'm coming out the
Everybody,
green room.
There you go. Boom. He was backstage waiting. So we back here. We doing it. How you doing, good sir? How everything going on your end?
Everything's going as well as can be expected, I'm just trying to maintain and do what I got to do to survive and thrive.
I feel that. Boom. There it is. All of them. Survive, thrive. Give me another verb. Something else.
Live.
There we go.
It doesn't rhyme,
So,
but
man,
we live.
Right. We, like you said, we outside, baby. Yeah, we
outside. I'm actually in my cave, but you get the euphemism.
It's okay. We know where we at. So, man, bro, thank you for coming on, doing this awesome interview, man. I really do appreciate it. And thank you for kicking it off of being Blerd. And of course, we're going to kick it off with somebody major like yourself who's been in the game for a while, man. So tell us, Rule, what makes you a Blerd?
Besides being a black nerd by definition.
Boom. Right.
Man, I guess you could say I've been a Blerd since before I even knew what the coinage of the term was. Definitely before being a quote unquote nerd was cool by any stretch. Right. And I think that a lot of my nerdiness just came from my parents, particularly my mother, just allowing me to be who I was. Like, she was a former educator, God rest her soul. And she taught me a lot, but she also allowed me to grow in my own creativity. It didn't stifle that, right? Introduced me to things that would help me grow in that creativity. She taught science, so I was heavily involved in science, all of the sciences, earth science, natural sciences, biology, and I just kind of stayed in that trend. But growing up back then, also I was into like the popular cartoons and the comic books and the things like that, and I just kept going in that direction. But I think what really kind of brought all of that together for me was I started martial arts in my teenage years. I won't tell you how many thousands of years old that I am, but I've got decades of training. Right, I'm no slouch. I'm no rookie at it,
Bruh.
and because of that, kind of spun off into doing different. Um, I started a business actually when I was in high school. We did martial arts performances for various movie openings and just different types of special events, and we traveled all over the country. And part of that was we would also cosplay. We didn't know it was cosplay back then. It was just like, I'm gonna
Mhm.
be the character. I'm gonna dress up as the character, and we're gonna perform a fight scene. So I did Scorpion from Mortal Kombat Ultimate. That's where when I started. So Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate, and then Darth Maul from Star Wars Phantom Menace. And there's a little discrepancy because those both happened at around the same time, but Darth Maul was actually first, then Scorpion. And then we reenacted the fight scene from Phantom Menace, which was insane. I still have a lot of muscle memory from doing those movements. And one really quickly funny story that happened the first time that we did the show, we were actually performing with the college band, and so two of us were in the
Oh
band,
wow.
me and the guy who played Obi-Wan, and then the other guy who was playing Qui-Gon was actually not in the band, but we were, it was our business, our group, so we came together to do this thing. And he would set up the weapons off the side of the football field. We were doing it for football halftime show, and the first show that we did live, my mask, because I didn't have time to do 12, 13 hours or whatever it was of face paint to be Maul. So I took a latex Halloween mask. I cut out the eyes so that I could see, and I laced up, cosplay mods back then. I laced up the back with shoestring, black shoestring, so that I could tighten the mask. And I put it on under my band hat, and then I had my band's jacket on, and my pants just happened to be black, so I didn't have to change the pants. Hey,
Okay.
um, and I got there, I threw off the thing, the Duel of Fates is getting ready to start, and I take off the band hat, and that little adjustment twisted my mask about an inch to the left. So now I'm fighting
Oh man.
blind, quite literally blind. I can't see. And so for the first, I don't know, 20, 30 movements, I can't see a thing. But because we practice it hours and hours and hours, most of our practices were 2 to 3 hours without the band, and then we come in with the band for another hour to an hour and a half, just the band, and then also the drumline section, and then so I where the movements are memorized. It's muscle memory. So I'm going through the motions, do 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 do. The rhythm is there, and I didn't miss, thank God, because it could have been a pause in the fight where I could readjust, and then I had to just be cognizant like the mask isn't as tight as it's supposed to be. Problematic, but we got through the thing. It went off really well. The crowd loved it. We loved it. And I told the guys after the thing, I was like, for the first, 20 some odd moves, I couldn't see anything. He was like, no, you're kidding. I'm like, no, I'm dead serious. Let's not do that again.
Okay. Oh wow. Awesome. Thank you for that awesome and very insightful story. So that's how see, and did you attend, was it a HBCU or a
Yeah,
PWI you attended? HBCU?
it was a PW. I went to it was a PWI. So I went to Duke University the first
Okay.
time around, and then I've since gone to Northeastern University. for my second, and I actually did Northeastern fully remote. So I never actually set foot on the campus until graduation.
Oh wow! Shout out to Duke, 'cause that's my favorite basketball team. Go Blue Devils! Uh, wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So man, so my next
Go Blue
follow up question would be to
Devils.
you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Even though I wish to get a better basketball coach, but that's besides the point. That's besides the point.
Bruh.
Um, so my next thing I'm going to ask you is what do you think? Don't laugh at me. I'm sorry. It's this pain. What what do you think and how do you feel about the word and term blurred? What do you
Yeah,
think
I
about
feel you. I feel you. I mean, I'm kind of agnostic to it. Like I said, I've been a nerd before I ever knew what a blurred was. I was good and grown by the time I heard the term blurred. I'm like, oh, that's cool, whatever. I think that it allows us to have a kind of a separated identity and definitive, right?
uh-huh.
Um, but to me, I don't care. Like, people are gonna throw terms all over. So, I mean, if it's catchy, if it makes people feel good, whatever. Who cares?
Okay. I like that. I like that answer.
It's a
Like it
categorization.
is.
The categorization. So,
Right.
so that
Yeah.
categorization. And I mean,
Okay. I
the
feel
thing
that.
about categorization, it can be used for good or for ill.
That is also true. That is also true. So, man, so we could be moving along because I like to ask those first two questions, kind of break the ice to see where the people heads at because some people love the term, they love it, they glad it's here, and some people really not, mess with it too much because they don't want to be defined and they don't want to be put in a box because you don't want to be labeled as well. So, I like to ask that question, get out the way just to see people headspace. But that was a good answer. I really respect it and thank you for sharing that answer with
I don't
us.
care. It is what it is. What's a box?
See, this box is this brown thing, right? You just got like maybe 4 to 6 sizes. Depends on what you get, or what you buy. So it really depends on it. But
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
simple thing. Yeah, yeah. My have technology come so
Well,
far.
if if it ain't coming off of something I shopped online, I can't deal with it.
Right. But man, moving along. So, like, what was your very first cosplay? What was it? Was it Spider-Man? Was it Wolverine? Or what was that first cosplay that kind of stood out to you that people kind of noticed, like kind of put you on the map?
That's a good question. So, um, I kind of guess it depends on when you first say cosplay, what that term what that term meant to me and when it started. To me, officially, cosplay started when I started way back when, and I put on that Darth Maul costume and we started fighting. That was
Okay.
officially cosplay to me, right? But for the rest of the nerd community, I would say after I took this, long hiatus and came back and, social media was a thing and, I was like, whatever. I think my Inuyasha cosplay, which was
Mm.
pre-pandemic, right before the pandemic started actually. Um, yeah. So I
Bad
think that one
days.
kind of really put me back into my flow, my cosplay flow that wasn't business related. It wasn't I
Hmm.
need to be out there. It was just like I'm gonna cosplay because it's gonna be fun. This is what I feel like doing. I'm gonna go hang out, and that's what it was. So it was more. I think that was definitely my return to cosplay, but it was the more focus on the play part of cosplay versus being seen. Yeah, I was seen. Yes, it became popular.
Gotcha.
People saw it, but it wasn't the intent. It was like I just want to do this because it's going to be fun.
Eh, If you don't mind me asking, so what made you take that, hiatus away from the nerd community of cosplaying? What, if you don't mind me asking that question?
Yeah, no problem, no problem. So, and I know people take breaks for a lot of various reasons, and for me, it was a number of things. It wasn't an intentional break initially. It was
Mm-hmm.
just finishing school and then transitioning into the quote unquote real world where you got to get a job and you, you know do the things that adults do. Adulting is not fun. Do
Boo,
not recommend. 0 stars.
boo. So
Um,
get it's so ghetto here.
and
It is so ghetto.
my job at the time was in insurance. It's terrible. It's terrible. It took away a lot of my time. I was in the insurance industry, and it took away a lot of the time because I would be either on the road or I would be training. And I might be working 60, 70 hours a week combined doing all that stuff. I just didn't have the energy, to
Right.
do anything else. And then a little bit later on, what kind of extended that hiatus was one of my good buddies from college actually passed away. And he was real young. And I got the notice kind
Okay.
of weirdly when I was in that meeting at work through Facebook, and it was just like he's gone, and I was like, we used to call ourselves the Dragon Duo, right? Because we were both
Mm,
in the martial arts. I was the martial artist. He was more like the historian kind of Japanese culture, right? Um,
right.
and he also introduced me to a lot of Japanese video games, like straight out imports out of Japan on the Dreamcast system, that type of stuff. And he's probably one of the people that got me into some of the more obscure anime, let's pronounce it right, from way back when.
Wait,
So
so
I
it's
think
pronounced anime?
that kind of triggered me a little bit. Anime. We anglicize a lot of the things. Manga, anime.
Huh.
It's anime, manga. Japan, not Japan. Japan.
So I'll be saying along for I'll be so
Yeah,
anime
I mean,
is
it's
so
just
anime is
American.
wrong then.
Americans Americanizing. Yeah, it's Americanized.
Okay. I learned something new today. The
It's
more
kind
you
of
know.
like, but it's kind of like learn something new. But it's kind of like one of those things. But it's kind of like one of those things is like we have our own culture, so we're gonna say it the way that we say it. But at the same time, it's kind of like the grand non-debate.
Uh-huh.
What is it? Sub versus dub. Who cares? You're probably mispronouncing it anyway. Don't learn
You're
Japanese
probably
from
right.
from watching anime. You're mispronouncing it.
But I gotta gotta have my little 2 cents on that. I don't really want to read when I'm
Just like
watching
you.
TV. I was like, sure.
But see, I'm kind
Well,
of the opposite because I'll throw on closed caption. I'll throw on closed caption on the ones that I can hear perfectly well. I don't care. I want to see what they say
hey,
because you know what? And
you know what?
and and this is something that I noticed. Like if you throw on a closed caption on like a predominantly black show, like the
Uh-huh.
Martin Show, for instance, throw on
Okay.
closed caption on there and watch. And I guarantee you, only about 75% of it is accurate. So
That's
that it's
crazy.
not necessarily a black person who is who's doing the closed captioning for that because the wording doesn't
Right.
make sense. It's like that's not
Right.
what he said. That's not what she said. None of that actually matches what was said. So throw it on one of those shows and see. There's a gap there. There's a gap there for representation that I didn't notice until I started paying attention.
That you put me on the game because technically, like I say, I can't watch the sub, but the craziest part, like you said, I will like shows that speak English fluently, I will put the caption on. That's confusing as hell. I know people don't judge me. Judge your mama, not me. I'm just saying, but that's what I do.
Yep, yep. I'll do it.
Oh
I'll
man.
do it.
So, but like you
Little
said though,
quirks, whatever.
right? Let of course make the world go round. Different strokes for different folks. God, I'm old. How did I know about that show?
For sure.
But yeah, But my thing is, though, like I like how you said about the sub and dub, because a lot of people say, "Oh, you're not a real anime person because you watching in dub, you taking away the whole feeling of the voice actors they was doing it in sub. You're not real too." That's like, but does it make you less of a nerd if if you don't watch it?
Not to me.
Because like I said,
Not to
different
me at
strokes for
all.
different folk. Right. But it makes the world go round. So, how, we in this day and age, Rule, you probably, disagree or agree with me on this one. It's just like we are so, what's the word I'm looking for? We just want to get that clout, if that makes sense. Because I know I watch this in sub, you're not real, but I know it. So you got to come to me and you got to know who I am.
Right, right. I mean, it's just another form of gatekeeping, if you ask me.
Mm, there we go.
And
Good
I
think of the
just
word.
don't.
Thank
I
you.
don't think it's necessary.
And,
If
and
if, if you
and I'm
enjoy
glad you brought up.
watching it in dub, and I mean, here's. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no,
Little
no. Go
bit
ahead.
of
I'm
a
sorry.
delay.
I
Um,
go ahead. I'm gonna
I
let
was
you
just gonna
cook.
say
Go ahead.
it, it here's the thing. So regardless of which side of the line that you fall on, or if you fall right in the middle, or you're agnostic to it,
Hmm.
when it comes down to it, the dubs that exist have opened the doors for a lot of American voice actors. Full stop.
Mm,
And that includes some of us
mm.
black folks.
I can respect that. I feel that. I feel that. I do.
So if you hating on dubs to that extent, you're probably hating on somebody getting their own paycheck.
That is also true. But and at the end of the day, you like what you like, you love what you love, because that's what makes you an individual person. Because don't nobody in this world want to be the same. Don't nobody in this world want to be
Facts.
identical to the next person. What makes me different from you is what makes me me. So don't don't be on the bandwagon. Be
Exactly.
off the bandwagon, because if you're on a bandwagon, it's gonna be kind of hard to identify who you are as a person. Let's say, oh well, Rule. Oh, he like Bleach, which I kind of hate Bleach, but so he like Bleach. So what's make him different from anybody else on this bandwagon that like Bleach? Because like what?
Yeah.
But it's something about Bleach that stood out to you that makes you unique, that makes you different from anybody else that likes Bleach.
Exactly.
By the way, do you like Bleach? While I'm on the subject,
I mean, I like it. I haven't watched it in forever. I'm so far behind on all of my shows, but eventually I'll get caught up on them. I think if I spent the equal amount of time watching shows as I do reading and working, then
hmm
we'd be in good shape. I said my
okay,
toxic trait is adding shows to my watch list that I'm not going to watch anytime within the next 3 or 4 months, and buying video games that I know full well I don't have time to play, but I got a ton of them.
I think we kind of same in that. I brought all these video games. I had not played one, which is sad. I'm gonna do better, y'all. I'm gonna do better. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. But what's going
Toxic,
on, everybody?
toxic. I'm a bomb. I'm a bomb. I get to them
I think
eventually.
I think we got that Jada Pickett in us. Oh, I'm gonna get canceled for that one. It's a joke, people. Please, it's a joke. I know it's
Yeah,
2024.
you are.
We don't even know what jokes is anymore. People get so offended. Oh man, it's this. Let me ask you this, Rule. Being 2024 now, it's. Do you think we have to be careful in things that we do and say now?
I mean, I think you've always had to be careful in things that you do and say. The difference is you have a lot more exposure and visibility because of the various, social media platforms, access to technology, and the
Right.
speed at which bad news and bad things travel, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. Man, especially being in the cosplay community, it's kind of like you really stepping on eggshells. You got to be careful around this group of people. You got to be careful what you cosplay around this group of people. So, and then if you don't do these certain things,
Mm.
you're going to get that good old thing they call canceled. Yay.
Oh man, you took it all the way back. That's
I might get canceled for
Super
what I just
Mario
said there.
1, isn't
Man, what? I am really showing my age tonight. I feel anyway, but yeah. So,
it?
so man, so let me ask you this.
But I
So how
mean,
did you feel? Oh, sorry, go
so
ahead, go
so
ahead, go ahead.
so here's the thing. And I mean, you bring up a good point. No, I was gonna say you bring up a good point with respect to the different aspects of the community, and let's be clear. Like when we say cosplay community, are we talking cosplay community as a whole, Black cosplay
Mm-hmm.
community, different niches inside the cosplay community? Because it's not ubiquitous, and
Mm-hmm.
and if you really pay attention to social media and the way it is structured, you will see that there exists, even within the cosplay community, a set of silos, a set of isolations, whether self-imposed or imposed by the various algorithms that exist. You could be completely shut off from an entire whole shoot, a whole branch, whole tree of other cosplayers and things like that. And
Right.
I give you an example. So when we say cosplay community, when I think cosplay community, initially I think us Black cosplayers, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm around the most of the time. But the cosplay community is much larger than that, but it's also substantially smaller than the effective social media at large, right?
Right.
As big as it is, as popular it is, you can go to a big con like say Dragon Con, and you'll have thousands, tens of thousands of cosplayers, but you also have tens of thousands of other nerds in various genres that don't cosplay, but they know what cosplay is, but they will never touch or set foot on or look at any form of social media, right?
True. True.
So those people, they exist in their own little world. They out there cosplaying, and they will never set foot on, touch Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever. Then it's not going to deal with it. So got to look at it from that perspective too.
These are facts. These are facts. And man, this is getting deep. I like it.
Flawless victory.
Gotta get that in there. Are you hearing these sounds these buttons I'm mashing?
Yeah, I'm hearing them. It's just a little bit of a delay. It's like a 2-second delay between some.
Okay. And people's like, why y'all being so quiet? I was like, well, technology is a delay. You know how people read the news and you pan to the reporter and a reporter that's standing there. It's the feedback that's coming. So they gotta wait a minute to
Yep.
see, like, oh, okay, I got you. So don't think,
Yep.
oh,
Exactly.
they lagging. We not lagging. It's technology. Come on, people. Y'all know. But moving along. So
Trust me, it's not lagging. I can tell you, I'm getting 1030 bits per megabits per second over here. We good.
bam, boom, there it is. There it is. He got that fast. And yeah, this is fast for sign language. Yeah, I'm learning American Sign Language if people didn't know out there. I'm actually learning it. It is pretty interesting to learn. Some of these
Nice.
languages and signs are very unique. But
especially all the bad
Moving on.
words.
Don't get me started on the bad words. Please don't get me started. These gonna be my favorite ones. I'm just gonna be doing it in public. They say, Skip, what you doing? I just said bless you in sign language, even though I just said fuck you. But Rule.
No, you
Now
didn't.
let me don't tell nobody else. But let me ask you this. Now let's get to the real questions. If you had a starting five in basketball
All right.
of anime, who would be your which anime would be your starting five and why?
Oh wow. Dang, you gonna put me on the spot like that. All right.
Flawless
Let me
victory.
see. I'm gonna go pretty much old school with these. So I'm gonna go with some of my top ones. So Ninja Scroll on the movie front.
Okay.
And then I can't forget about good old Pokemon. Yes, Pokemon, even though I was a little bit older when it first came out. It's still a classic to me. And mm, I'm trying to think of one of these ones from way back when. Um,
We going back. We going way back.
I'm going back. I'm going all the way back in the time. Nah, it's not gonna come. So we'll put Inuyasha up there because that's one of my all time faves. And mm, all right, this one won't count as an anime, but it's an old school cartoon, so I'm gonna throw it up there anyway.
Okay.
Dungeons and Dragons, the series. Yeah, y'all don't know
Wait,
about that, youngins.
no, you blew my mind with that one. So Dungeons and Dragons had a series before the movie came out.
Oh, screw the movie. Who cares about the movie?
Oh,
You know, we're all familiar with the game, right? The game was
uh-huh.
wildly popular. Wildly
Right.
popular. Ooh, yes, random Facebook user. Gundam. That would be up there with them, but I didn't watch as many Gundam as I built, right? I
I,
probably built more Gundams than I actually
I don't know
watched.
why the name not coming up, but actually, Michael Davis had a question for you. It's a
But
long
yeah, Dungeons
question.
and Dragons. All right.
We're gonna put a pause right there, Dungeons and
Blah,
Dragons.
blah, blah,
But
blah, blah,
yeah,
blah, blah. Let me see.
since they wanted me to do
Comic
this,
book store. Question for Rule.
yeah.
We'll come
Let me
back to
put it up there
Dungeons
so
and
people
Dragons.
can see.
We'll come back to Dungeons and Dragons. So, question
So
for
boom.
Rule. I own a comic. Yeah, I own a comic book store in Chicago area called Blerd's Underground. Constantly trying to find cosplayers for events. Are there certain individuals for groups that I can reach out to in the Midwest that can cast a wide net and get cosplayers out to events? Probably. I'm probably not the right one to ask that. Because I'm antisocial and I don't like people. No, I'm just kidding. Or
You
am
come
I?
on now.
I am a villain. Um, I think the best I think the best way to do that, because like, hey, I'm not in the Midwest, so I can't answer who's out there like that. I'm on the East Coast and in the dirty South. Um, I think the best way to start is to hit up the Comic Cons and the different anime conventions and things that are already in those areas, so you can get to know the cosplayers. Because you can invite whoever, right? But
Right.
as we were talking about, you don't know who's toxic, who got drama, who got issues with other folks until you actually, put these folks in a room. How about, you avoid that and, get to know the people for yourself. So the best way to do that is to talk to the people, go to the events, get in touch with them. If you got a booth set up at one of these comic events, or you have one at your store, talk to those people and widen your net out from there. I know Skip is a great person. He's got a ton of contacts, and he is definitely closer to the Midwest than I am. So I would
I'm
start there.
nobody. I'm sorry. I can't do nothing for you. I'm just a little bird. That's
But
all.
you know people. You know people.
Yeah, yeah. But and here's the thing, and
Whatever, dude.
I feel like you're calling me out. I feel like that's what I feel like. But oh my god.
You have the platform that you could catch a much wider net than I could. You know.
Yeah, and I actually know, but I actually met them at a convention. They are actually good people, and I'm surprised. Like Blerd Underground. Believe me, I wish I had a comic book store like this in Birmingham because that is awesome. And what he's doing, like I seen the store, some of the pictures and videos. It is amazing, and stuff like this. Like, let's go back because I had to
Yeah.
talk to
See,
somebody
there you go.
today
Yeah,
about a black.
you got free advertisement Blurred Underground. You got free advertisement Blurred Underground. First one is free. Next one gonna cost you.
Right. Because I talked about because me and my friend we had a conversation when I was on lunch break about this. It's like we hop on here so much about black business this, black business that, and once we get that black business in this area, we get lazy, we get unfocused. We think so much and we think so hard that we got to have it, and I don't want this
Mm,
this way, and I got to have
mm.
this now, and I got to have this fast. You forget about all the process to what brought you to this moment right now, and now that that business went went
Well, I will.
went under. Go ahead.
Yeah, I will say, a good resource that will probably be super helpful in just getting any eyes on black owned businesses, especially in the blurred space. Because let's be honest, it's like that's your target audience, right? You're not
Exactly.
after, the whatchamacallit, the brunch crowd, the Atlanta brunch crowd
Mm,
watching Atlanta
speak on it.
Housewives. That's not your target audience. God bless those people. They're cool. They doing what they're doing, but that's not who you after. So
Yeah.
I would hit up if I were you, Blurred and Power. Yeah, hit up Blurred and Powerful. They've got a wide range of different cosplay, comic book, black nerd, urban type, what right up your alley, and they can probably cast a much wider net, at least direct you into the folks that you want to get in contact with. If I'm ever in the
Exactly.
Midwest, hey, hit me up for some bookings. I ain't cheap though. You gotta at least be able to pay what I make on my own, on my regular job. You feel me?
Boom.
I ain't
There
losing
it
no
is.
money
We
out
got
here.
real life, real facts, real jobs. I didn't want to, be that. But like you said, man, it's more about the only time you look down on a person is if you are helping them up. I'm gonna say that again if people don't understand that one. The only time you look down on somebody is that you are helping them up. We have gotten so much into this community that we
Mm.
are competing with one another. We are trying to outdo the other person. We forgot that we both was on the same struggling train, trying to make this a positive and a safe community of black folks coming together in a nerd space. Because at first we didn't have a black space for us nerd folks that had this melanin in our skin, because the outside world already thought of us as less. But now, since we are actually making a name, we putting Blerd out there, we got all these black great content creators with these great foundation organization just to promote black excellence. We have forgot the main focus that we supposed to unify, unite, and help each other to get on the level that we want, because it's a lot of space on that level. It really is. It's everybody can eat at this table. I'm talking about everybody
Facts.
can eat,
Facts.
but we got to get we have to get away of that sense of pride. Like, just because Rule is doing better than Skip.88, I'm gonna hate on Rule because he's doing better than me. No, 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 never like that. If this man doing great things, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna promote him. I'm gonna share his work. I'm gonna share his content. I'm gonna have him on for an interview. I'm gonna try to get him seen by other people that wants to talk to him and have them on that platform, so somebody else from that crowd can see what Rule is doing. That is what it's about. That's how you help the community, and that's how you move forward, and that's how you build a nurturing and understanding community amongst blurs in this community. Oh my God. That
Facts.
class
Facts.
actually helped me out. I don't know why I'm preaching. Ah, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a PK. But moving along, man. I think we getting too, logical on this. We being like Dr. Umas. I shouldn't have said that name. But so I see you got the Spider-Man out. Oh my God.
Dungeons and Dragons. Let's get back to the Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons. There we go. Dungeons and Dragons. Which somebody still got to teach me how to play.
Yeah,
go ahead.
So yeah, there was. So there was a cartoon series that came out. I want to say either early or mid '80s, and you can find it on Amazon, I think, or on DVD. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. If it's streaming anywhere, it's probably going to be on Tubi, right? People hate on Tubi because they got terrible movies, but when it comes down to it, if you want to find the old school American cartoons, outside of like Boomerang, because I'm not paying for cable. Screw you guys. That's where you go. That's where you go. They got a lot of the old school cartoons. A lot of
right.
So and I mean it's a great concept. These kids ride this Dungeons and Dragons roller coaster, and then it opens up a portal into the Dungeons and Dragons realm, and they're trapped there trying to get out. And the dungeon master is one of the main characters, main antagonists in there, and he's got a couple of villains in there. So I'm not gonna spoil it, but if you get a chance to check it out. It's a great watch. Old school, definitely up there in my top 5 in my starting lineup.
I ain't gonna lie.
I got some cosplays coming from that in about 9 months or so.
That is awesome. But somebody need to teach me how to play Dungeons and Dragons. I need to do a campaign or something, because it seems so interesting and fun to play. It really does. So I'm low key jealous of y'all. What is there a name for the Dungeons and Dragon people? Because we come up with so many names. Is there a name for y'all in the Dungeons and Dragon world, or no?
I don't play Dungeons and Dragons. I just like the cartoon, and I'm familiar with the game. But the game is intricate. It is very intricate. I would prefer to watch people play it because it's a fun. It's even fun watching Dungeons and Dragons players. So, I mean, if you watch Stranger Things and you've seen Dungeons and Dragons players,
yes, that is a great show. Can we talk about that for a little bit? Stranger Things. That is such an awesome show. If y'all haven't watched it, you missing out. It's season 5 is coming, and y'all better do a binge watch, because it's coming. I'm telling you.
Yep.
Hello, everybody. I'm gonna try my best to get
somebody
y'all.
said they want to learn to play Dungeons and Dragons too, but it's an all-day affair. It is.
It really is. Somebody told me like when my friend showed me, he has a whole book, and this book looked like one of them thick history books back in elementary school, about this tall. Yeah, I was like, yeah, bro, you got me messed up. I ain't finna study. I'm gonna cheat. What's the Cliff Notes? I'm gonna Google this.
The way that I explain it, and this at the risk of oversimplification, it's like a role-playing video game, but you pulled it out of the digital world. Obviously, this came before video games, but you pulled it out of the digital world, and now everything that you're doing, your classes, your attacks, your defenses, all of that is orchestrated on the game board by the dungeon master and players, and they're rolling of the dice. So instead of you doing that in like Baldur's Gate 3, choosing your class, putting on your armor, doing all that stuff online, you do it in a group with people live.
And boom, there it is. I'm gonna find somebody to interview, and we're gonna talk about Dungeons and Dragons. I'm gonna find that person. Don't worry. Give me some time, people, but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find them. So Rule. So we talk about your favorite anime. Lovely, lovely choice of perfect anime. You did good, sir. So out of those animes that you picked, if you can pick one, listen to the question carefully. I want you to think about this. If you can pick one anime that you name, which world would you live in and why?
Oh yeah, see, I can tell you which ones I wouldn't live in. I wouldn't live in Dungeons and Dragons
Smart
because
man.
that's terrible. That place is horrible, right?
Right.
It's a good show, but you wouldn't want to live there at all.
At
You
all.
wouldn't want to live in Ninja Scroll World. That like nope, 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 nope.
Yep.
You
We'll die
you
quick.
wouldn't want to live in Samurai Trooper World like that. Ronin Warriors, Samurai Trooper. That place is worse than Dungeons and Dragons. That ain't doing it. I would
Preach.
say if I had to pick, I would rather live. It is kind of jacked up when you think about it. You know, you send little kids out on their own in a wild world where there's monsters about. You say, here,
Iron.
have this random starter Pokemon and go catch some Marstons back into to your champion or something, right? And let
That
us not
part.
forget the original Pokemon movie when Mewtwo first made his appearance and wrecked the whole place. Right? My favorite line in that movie
Man.
is when he's at the island and Charizard comes out and Ash's Charizard comes out and he's like, just you know how Charizard is. He just like he want to is on site with him. He won't fight wherever. And
Right.
Mewtwo blocks the attack
No
and is like,
question asked.
your Charizard is poorly trained. Like, yeah, that's my point.
Man, bro, can you just imagine how it was back then when we first got introduced to Mew and Mewtwo? We lost our minds. It's kind of like, bruh, these are like Super Saiyans in Pokemon form.
Sorry, mine's for real.
That is wow.
Yep.
Oh, man. But
It
seriously,
was an
though,
event. That whole reveal was an event.
it was, and let alone back. See, okay, we're gonna tell our age, people. I don't care. See, back then when Pokemon came out, it was the big craze. Everybody was going crazy for it. Your grandmama, her folks, your granddaddy, his folks, your daddy folks, your mama folks. You knew what a Pokemon was if you was at least 75 years old. If you don't know any other Pokemon, you know one, and that's that little rat we call Pikachu. You knew him for a fact. But so Pokemon went so far with their shows, they actually had the nerve to make Pokemon playing cards. And tell me if I'm lying, Rule. If you had a Pokemon card, it was like you was playing spades.
Oh yeah. It was it was wild. And before they crazily oversaturated the market with their hundreds more Pokemon and other random merchandise, there was actually a high market for Pokemon cards. It was worse than Beanie Babies. If you remember the Beanie Babies craze, Pokemon
Oh
cards was
God.
out there. Original Hollow Foil, Charizard original, tens of thousands of dollars for no good reason.
Man, what you say? What
Yeah, I
folks
mean,
were
yes,
accused
they
of saying,
are still popular. The
they are.
monetary value of them though tanked.
But bro, if I had a whole book filled with Pokemon cards, I could have been a rich man by now. I had so many the holographic Pokemon cards was the one everybody was going crazy for. That was our first introduction into the holograph world.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what that is. But man, yeah, we told our age. We told our age. I don't care.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
I do. What you mean? I wish I could still fight him to this day. I wish I can. But man, Maru, I see that you have your Spider-Man fit on. So I'm guessing it's safe to say that you are a Marvel fan.
Yeah, I got my Spider-Man fit on because it's comfortable. Well, that's not a entirely true statement because the way that you said it implied that I'm only a Marvel fan. Like make my Marvel, which is not entirely true. I'm a comic book fan. See?
I respect that. But let me ask this question. Here's another tough
So
question.
I like DC, I like Image, I like Dark Horse, I like Marvel. Yeah.
But now here's all the tough questions. Here's the tough question. If you have to pick between any universe, which one will it be? You have to pick one.
All right, we had that little bit of delay there. Say that last part again. Which one would I?
Which one would you pick? You only have to pick one.
All right. Do I have to live in, or do I have to like? I can only read or watch or whatever. Are we talking movies, animated?
I'm gonna say this. You have to down this hill.
Yeah, see, I flipped the question.
You have to be 10 toes down.
10 toes down.
10 toes down. Yeah.
10 toes down.
10 toes down. Processing.
That's not a fair
right.
This interview.
It's not. You say it's not a fair question.
Because here's the thing.
Okay.
It's not a fair question, Skips. So here's the thing, because here is where DC Comics executes very well.
Okay.
They execute very well on their animated series and animated movies. Full stop.
Facts.
They execute well in general on their comics, even though a lot of their characters are insanely OP. And some of these retcons, Marvel is guilty of them too, but DC and some of their retcons is like, oh my god, why is someone so much more powerful? Because it makes it hard for you to actually create a legitimate real threat for them. And then your threat is OP. And so you end up having to have these insanely crazy crossovers that end up retconning other books. It just stop doing it. Now, Marvel, for a very long time, struggled with the animation, right? And there are a handful of exceptions in shows and some of the movies. Like, if you ever got to see the Doctor Strange animated movie from like 2007, top tier. And if you watch that before you watch Doctor Strange of the MCU, you'll see that they pulled a lot out of there. They should have kept more in there. So I mean, if I absolutely had to stick to one when it comes to execution, DC's execution on everything except their live action movies is gonna top Marvel. Marvel gets better with their live action movies, a handful of their live action shows, especially when they actually connect the universes properly. And then some of their comics from the original days, less about the retconning and stuff. But if I absolutely had to, because this one is technically, you didn't say I couldn't pick Disney. I will pick Disney because they have the Star Wars franchise, and then I could just live inside the books and screw the continuation of their trash movies, and I could just stick with the books and the expanded universe, because that's where the game is. That's where it all is. All up in there, in their legends.
Boom. There it is. There it is, people. So, Star Wars.
Take that, Skip. Since you try to throw me a gotcha question, take that. Take that, Skip.
I ain't gonna lie. It was almost a gotcha, but you came out. We came out in the end with the win. We gotta give you your roses. Got to get the man his roses. You know, he brought it out at the end. You know, with the Star Wars because that's a all-time classic. But you know, which? But here go another one. Which Star Wars are we talking about? The middle, the end, or the beginning?
Oh well, see, you gotta choose the original series, the OG series, original series, before any type of uh remakes, any of that. That's the original. But you cannot discount the prequels. We do not talk about the sequels. The sequels do not exist. You cannot
Thank God.
discount the prequels because the prequels introduce us to two of the top tier Sith, right?
Right.
Darth Maul and Count Dooku. Cannot discount those prequels.
You said enough right there. You said enough. Those two right there alone, kind of like, ooh, bruh, I think I need to join the dark side because I don't think they playing right here. But Dooku, I didn't even know how to.
Funny story, I've
Really?
never cosplayed a Jedi. I've only ever cosplayed Sith or Dark Jedi. And the reason for that is primarily because of Darth Maul. So Darth Maul turned me to the dark side. And then Count Dooku just kind of solidified it.
Yeah, when you saw him, it's kind of like, yeah, you know what? I'm full pledged dark side. You ain't got to worry about it. I'm good because I don't know what you got going on, but I'm not trying to be a part of that
Pretty
of the
much
killing.
Yoda's cool, but hey, Sith for life.
Isn't the only reason Yoda is cool? Don't hate me when I say that. Is that because he can talk backwards and it actually makes sense?
Well,
Did
that
I
and
lie?
because his lightsaber skills are pretty phenomenal. I mean, you didn't lie, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't reduce his coolness just down to the backwards talking.
I- to me, that was pretty cool. I say, dang, he talking backwards, but it actually makes sense if you pay attention and if you're not smoking weed. Because if you do that, you're gonna be really into deep thought, kind of like, hmm, this is a love couch. I can't sit on it if I'm not in love. I feel you, Yoda. I feel you.
No, no, no.
But bruh, I come to tell you some good news. We have made it to the hour mark of this awesome interview.
Hey,
So let me ask you, how did you think? How was it? Especially being on a new platform, even though I gotta work out a few kinks. How was it though? How was the new platform, the StreamYard and everything? Like, give me your honest opinion because I need to get better.
well, I've used I've used StreamYard before. Like I said, I don't do a whole bunch of interviews outside cons and things like that. Really, the place to get me doing any type of interview is at a con. But for the exclusives like you're getting, where I actually get into the questions and the deeper conversations, StreamYard is a good platform for that. And I don't do these often. So probably the next one I would do like this would probably be like 4 or 5 months from
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, how was I as a host? I did.
now. I think you're a good host. You're a good host. You only came with the gotcha questions like once or twice, but I expect that in the interview setting. I was prepared, mentally prepared.
Well, I'm glad you were. So, before we go, and before we end this awesome interview, I got to ask you one question. Are you ready for the question?
Hmm. We're ready for the question.
Rule 19 cosplay. Would you like to play a game? Still there? Uh-oh. Hello?
Yep. I'm waiting for the rest of the question.
Oh, that was it. Would you like to play a game? That was it. That was.
I'm still here. I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. You can.
Oh, well, I didn't hear that part. Yeah. What the game is, what I win.
Okay.
What the game is, what I win.
All right. It's game time, people. And some of my people out there, let me go ahead and do this. It's game time, people. And you know what time it is. You know the games I like to play with the people that I interview. So we're gonna let Rule 19 Cosplay get this same smoke like everybody else before him came on this great show and got this work. So Rule 19 Cosplay. I'm gonna give you 3 game choices. It's up to you to which one you want to play. Are you ready for the breakdown?
All right, what's the breakdown?
All right. Game number 1. It is called questions. Now, in this, I will ask you 4 simple questions. That's 4 easy random questions that everybody should know. And you being the college student that you are, you should get these questions right. But let's say if you don't get them right and you need some help, you have to say the magic anime word, which is Nani, to activate your lifeline. The 3 people, that's low. The 3 people who's watching this live right now can help you answer these questions, but they only can give you the answer if you say the magic anime word, which is Nani. So that is it. That is game number 1, questions. Game number 2, it's the same concept, but instead of questions, I'm gonna ask you riddle, and I call this riddle me this. Same concept, 4 riddles you have to answer. Can't answer it, Nani to activate your lifeline. Boom. And game number 3, it's an all-time classic. Everybody loves it. It is called Name That Tune. Now, in Name That Tune, I will play any, and I do mean any, anime, movie, video game, cartoon, live action show music that every nerd and Blerd is very, very familiar with. You have 5 categories. Once we get to category number 3, that's when things become very, very interesting. And I could play the song for you as many times as you like. And you have 2 lifelines. So, Rule Cosplay 19. Rule 19 Cosplay. What game would you like to play?
Let's do number 1. Game number 1 sounds fun. Let's go.
So you want to go with questions? Okay.
Yeah, we'll
Let's
do
go ahead
questions.
All right. We're going to do questions. Well, everybody, we're going to say bye to Rule 19 Cosplay for right now. But we're going to set it up and we're going to get these questions on and popping. We'll be back. Don't you go nowhere, because we still going to be here. But y'all come. Don't leave, okay? That's stay where you at. Please. That's what we're going to do. We'll be back.
Do you want a little help?
Don't worry about me. Fighting that little beast made me start thinking about the animals I left behind on the island, so I let my guard down. Now to fight like I mean it.
All right.
And we're back. We're back, people. We've played a good game of questions. I kind of put Rule 19 Cosplay back in the green room for a little bit so he can get his mind. He can, compose himself and get ready for these good questions that I'm going to ask him. So How y'all think he's going to do? How you think he's going to fare? You think he's ready for it? You think he gonna do it? Let me know. Please let me know. And we're gonna bring him back in. Everybody, let's bring him back in. Clap it up for him. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up.
I'm out the green
All
room
right.
again.
Rue, are you ready for the game?
We as ready as we gonna be.
Let's put the spotlight on him. Boom. Here we go. Question number 1. Question number 1. And here we go. What is heavier, a pound of cotton or a pound of stone?
Should be the same weight. They're both a pound.
Okay, we off to a good start. We are off to a good start. All right. Question number 2. 7 plus 6 is 12, or 7 plus 6 are 12?
Neither. 7 plus 6 is 13.
Okay. We 2-0. We
Sneaky
2-0.
got you questions. I see you. I see what you're doing, Skips. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, Skips, with your sneaky got you questions. You ain't say there was gonna be no maths.
All right. Are you ready for question number 3?
I ain't had maths for 2 semesters.
Oh God, I hate math. But okay.
No.
Hey. Question number 3. Can you name the 2 days starting with T besides Tuesday and Thursday?
The 2 days starting with T.
Besides Tuesday and Thursday.
Ain't no 2 days starting with T besides Tuesday and Thursday.
So, Rule, what is your answer?
There's no such thing. It's a sneaky got you question. What are you talking about? Unless you say the Monday, the Tuesday, the Wednesday. What is the sneakiness that you are pulling?
Can you name the 2 days starting with T besides Tuesday and Thursday? I'm looking on Instagram.
Nope. Nani. What's the Nani? Nani.
Okay, you said Nani. All right. Now, this answer comes from a good queen that I know, and the name of her organization is called Room Full of Blerds. Now, her answer is today and tomorrow. Do you trust that answer, or do you want to go another route, or you want to go with your answer?
I like that
Bama
answer.
Blerd.
I like that
Bama
answer.
Blerd.
Even though those are
Bama,
not days, right? Your sneaky question, right?
but Bama Blerd says today and tomorrow. Somebody said, wait,
Yeah,
what?
I see 2 people that say today and tomorrow.
Somebody said trust. So, what is your answer?
I like today and tomorrow, even though that's sneaky.
Today and tomorrow.
It's a good answer to your sneakiness of your today tomorrow. That's what we're going with.
Room for the Blur said, trust a black woman. LOL. You know, when a black woman say that, you kind of like, hey, I'm gonna have to go with her.
I think it's the appropriate response for your sneaky question. Would you say days, right? That's an appropriate response for your sneaky question.
This is question number 3. Is that your final answer?
This is my final answer.
Boom. Okay. Clap it up. You gotta give it up for the people. Give it up for the community. Coming through. All right.
Give it up for the people.
Back.
Community.
Zoom
With
back
your
out.
sneaky question.
Boom.
You didn't say there was riddles in this one. That's you put a riddle. You put a riddle in this one. That's sneaky.
It really wasn't. It wasn't a riddle. It was a legit question.
Yes, it is.
Right.
It's not a legit question. You said days. That's not a day. Tomorrow is not a day by itself.
But it's the following to the, tomorrow, today. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to do this for the people so they can learn. Hold on. Let me show my bell. Okay. Here we go. Okay, people. ASL for today and tomorrow. You go get your 2 fingers. You bring it down twice. Today. This is how you sign today. 1, 2. Today. The ASL for tomorrow. Tomorrow. Get your thumb. You twist it out. So you got tomorrow and you got today. And my sign language teacher is on here, everybody. So y'all wave to him. So tomorrow, today. There we go. All right. Back to the game. All right. Boom. All right. Last question. Here we go.
Yeah. Sneaky. Your sneaky game.
All right. Here we go. This is a good one. Rue, are you ready for the last question?
We ready?
All right. Here we go. What's up, room full of blurs? How you doing? The last question for all the marbles in the world. Here we go. If a plane crashes on the border of the United States and Mexico, where would you bury the survivors?
Well, first of all, that's a messed up question. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't bury survivors. That's trifling. You know what I'm saying?
Well, everybody, y'all clap it up for him.
Win.
He got all my sneaky questions.
I win.
Right.
And you said there was marbles. I want my marbles. You said all the marbles. I got to share some with Room Full of Blerds, but we got marbles. I heard it. You heard it, people. He said marbles. Give me my marbles, Skip.
How you gonna share marbles? Like, how's that impossible? Like, she gonna get 2, you get the rest.
I don't
like,
care.
How does that work?
I don't care. You missing the point to the question. I distinctly heard you said all marbles. I want my marbles, Skip. Give me my marble. Let's start. Facebook folks, start a petition. Give Rule 19 his marbles.
Room Full of Blur says she just want all the purple ones. If you can just get her all the purple ones, that would be great. So all the purple ones. Room Full of Blurs would like all the purple marbles. That's
Done deal.
She said.
Done deal. Perfectly fine. I'm good with that. That's good. That's
Real
cool. So next time I see you at a con, Skip, you already know what it's going. Where are my marbles?
I'm gonna give you your marbles. I'm gonna give you all your marbles, but you got to get all the purple ones out. Which I'm gonna have a bag full of purple ones. So now, that's the trick. That's a Batman villain. Now, what you gonna do,
That's okay.
Batman?
That's okay. That's okay.
Somebody asks,
That's okay.
"Real woman,
That's okay.
real
I
woman
will
of
have still
cosplay,
gotten my marbles. Is the point?
real woman of cosplay asks, what is this? Squid Games? It is Squid Games. You want to play? Wait, I gotta say that again.
It might be
Take two.
a little bit of squid in the games of the squid
It is
going
Squid
on.
Games. You want to play?
Fatality.
Boom, there it is. But, bro, thank you for coming on. This was fun. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Finish him.
This was awesome. This is the way
For
to
sure.
bring back being the Blerd, and we had
I did.
a great cosplayer, a great person, a great dear friend. This guy is amazing. Y'all go follow him. But yet, I'm gonna let you go ahead, put up yourself, let the good people know where they can follow you at, what you got working up, and also before you go, give the people some words of encouragement. And it's all on you, good sir.
All right, bet. So I'm gonna start off with my handles and everything. It's Rule 19 Cosplay on all platforms, all of the platforms that I am on. But I will be spending the vast majority of my time on Instagram, so that's where you can find me most active. But I also have the different links and the places that you can buy merch and stuff like that if you're interested in that type of stuff. You can also check out my website, rule19cosplay.com. I'm going to have some new stuff popping off on there as I start uploading new cosplays and cosplays that are exclusive that have not been seen, and then also images that have not been posted to the gram at the mercy of the algorithms. Words of encouragement. I got one simple one. Just you can either be a great version of yourself, or you can be a poor copy, poor imitation of someone else. Your choice.
Mm. I like that. That was powerful. That was powerful. So, bro, thank you for coming on. People out there, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming back to support Blerd Over. We really want to thank you. We still working, we still grinding, and nothing in this community does not shake or move without you, good people. I want to say thank you for everything. And yes, Blerd Over is officially a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So be on the lookout because we're doing great things in our city. At this time right now, we are collecting comic books and manga books and
Clap it up.
also money
Clap it
donation
up.
to give to a literacy program here in Birmingham to teach kids how to read. Because, my first comic book, I read because of a comic book, and, look at me now, still a fool. But if y'all want to help these kids, donate what you can, when you can, or what you can. Anything is greatly appreciated. If you want to donate money, the money would go towards to a comic book that Blerd Over will purchase and donate to this literacy program. We got more great things coming up. We also will be featured at Comic-Con this year. We got two things coming up. On February the 9th, we are having the Chaos of Anime party. Yeah. Crazy, right? Chaos of Anime party on February 9th from 8 to 11 at Cardigans. 21 and up. Bring your IDs to get in. We got a cash bar. Yeah, cash bar taking over for the 99 and 2000s. We in that thing. But yeah, we having the cash bar. It's going to be a good time. Great people. Bring out your cosplays. This is a party with a purpose. And what we do always is a party with a purpose, because we still collecting comic books and manga books. And this will be the last time for your donation. So anything you can donate would be greatly appreciated. Once again, thank you for making this possible. A first Black nonprofit that deals with the nerd community, and it's all because of y'all. Y'all kept pushing me, kept driving me. A great man like this. See, this is the reason why I do it. So I want to say thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. So thank y'all. And I almost got emotional. Okay. But that's it. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I ain't a punk. I don't cry. I'm a man. But
Do you
At
want
this
a little help?
time, baby boys, baby girls, thank you for tuning in for being a Blerd with my boy Rule 19 Cosplay. Y'all go follow him on all social platforms. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. And at this time, WTW, what's the word said with me? UNITY. What does that spell? Unity. And we out. That's how we're gonna make it to life together. And I'm see you next time of being a Blerd. Take care.
Do you want a little help?
Don't worry about me. Fighting that little beast made me start thinking about the animals I left behind on the island, so I let my guard down. Now to fight like I mean it.
All right.